If you're not laughing like Jason, you certainly will not be laughing by the end of this clip, because it's a sad clip, Jason.
Well, we're celebrating. We're celebrating someone's wonderful career.
Did you see anyone that looked happy in that crowd? Did you see anyone that looked happy in
what crowd?
Francesco Totti's team? So this clip, I know everyone's been asking for it and commenting on why we are so ridiculous that we haven't discussed this to this point. Francesco Totti, a living legend, ambassador of Rome. He is the next greatest ambassador of Rome since my name is Maximus.
Caesar?
What's his name? Max? No, even more so than Caesar. Maximus Aurelius from Gladiator.
Maximus Aurelius, yes.
And it's true, because the guy's played 25 years at Rome, and he had to hang up the boots, unfortunately. It was a full ceremony. There was a speech given. It was very poetic. It was emotional, tearful.
Of honor.
Even made Daniel De Rossi cry. And if you know Daniel De Rossi, and I'm sure we'll throw up some sort of image of him in how hard he looks. He's the hardest looking Italian you've ever met. Big beard, always looks for him, crying. Because Francesco Totti was.
Yeah, there was two pictures I thought that was from Getty Images in a really great fake news New York Times article. I feel the need to. Totti was thrown up in the air. And there was like, after the third throw, he was like, "All right, guys, I'm like 44. You gotta put me down." And then the second one, obviously, the fans gave him quite a send off. They put it, as the New York Times put it, he's a living monument to the entire country of Italy.
It's true. There's two monuments currently, Buffon and Totti.
The quotes that came out in regards to his career, in regards to the living legends who played the sport and are considered the greatest in Italy, they bow their head to Totti as him being one of the best, if not the greatest ever, put on an Italian shirt and then play in the Serie A. And there's also just some numbers to run by. I think he's second all time in Serie A goal scoring, but 786 appearances for one club.
Yeah,
which is a lot of appearances. 25 seasons in Serie A, 23 seasons scored in Serie A. His most goals where he won a Golden Boot in 2006-2007. He was 16 when he made his debut, 40 when he made his final appearance. He became Roma captain, so he's been captain longer than I've been alive. Yeah. 18 years. And then he won his only Serie A title in 2000-2001, which came in a match that he scored in the final day to win 3-1 over, and I can't believe I'm forgetting it. But regardless, if you look at his top 100 goals compilation, he has some screamers, and he also has a couple of runners.
Iconic player. So rather than talking about the obvious, which is how great he was as a player, I just wanted to kind of just talk about one clip. One real focus of this clip is how he represents a dying breed. We're seeing the end of players that have simply pledged their allegiance to a club over aspirations to potentially go further. Now, it goes hand in hand if that club happens to be great, like you're Lionel Messi, you pledge your allegiance to Barcelona, you're gonna get some silverware. I'm talking about the likes of Stevie Gerrard, Francesco Totti, right there in the same category in terms of, no, I don't care how many other teams are gonna come and ask for my signature, because believe me, in his prime, any of the top European clubs would have been absolutely insane if they didn't at least make an offer or try to get Francesco Totti, because he was that good. And for a long period of time, he was arguably one of the best players in the world, one of the best creators, great first touch, great vision, great goal scoring ability. But he never seemed to be that interested. He had one job to do, and that was to make Roma a force in Italy, and if they could, compete in Champions League play. Now, when you look at Gerrard, he was able to take Liverpool to European champions. When you think about how dominant teams are like AC Milan and Juventus through the history, it was remarkable that Francesco Totti helped lead that team to win a Serie A. And they finished runners-up 9 times under his realm. And this year, they actually finished second in Serie A, so they're going to be in the Champions League next year, which is great. A great
nice way to leave the team.
Yeah. So, yeah, he won't be remembered by his accolades next to the legends as such as in Italy. Like maybe
he did win a World Cup.
Yeah, of course he won a World Cup. That's what I'm thinking about. But when you look at guys like Italian footballers that have potentially moved elsewhere and won Champions League trophies and really added to their trophy cabinet, he's still apart from them by the fact that he was so loyal to one club. And that's why I always give the utmost respect and consider the likes of Totti Stevie Gerrard, John Terry even. And yes, he's in the same category as Gerrard, that he added trophies to his cabinet because he won Champions Leagues, he's won Premier Leagues. But it's just, I think it's such a great testament to someone's character if they're like, you know what, 25 years, not moving, staying at the same club.
For some players and some, it depends on what status you are. I don't think it really was about reading into the stories of why he wanted to stay at Roma. It seems like it was just his home, and he didn't want to leave home anymore. Like he has, I think he has 3 kids. It looked like he's got a very, very good-looking wife.
As you'd imagine, he's a very good-looking guy.
And it seemed like he had a real connection with the fans because everyone that said he seems like he was someone who would just be about town, even given the status that he was. He was just somebody who was intricately woven into what Rome is. And when it comes to world football, like obviously, if you're a living legend in that sport, usually you can't like escape what would be, I would think, paparazzi or just people who want to get to know you. It just comes off as, from the quotes in that article I was reading and a couple of others, that that was his home, it was his town.
Yeah.
And that was really his city. It's a big city, but still at the same time, he made it his own. And 23 years at a club, I mean, after 10 or 15, once you get past your window of being in your prime, that seems to be the point where you go, why would I leave now? Yeah. And he probably just kept saying, oh, I can still play, why would I leave now? And then he played after year 20, why would I leave now?
I think that's a good point.
And he won the World Cup.
Yeah,
I mean, to me, that's like you won the best honor you possibly could.
And he was instrumental in that. And to be honest, I think Italians do loyalty probably better than most. Like you look at Buffon, the same thing. You look at Paolo Maldini, same thing. You look at
did Pirlo bounce around?
Pirlo moved around quite a lot. But yeah, not everyone can be like that. But it just seems like there's definitely a sense of loyalty there when it comes to these big names. When it comes to their paying tribute to their club and staying with them.
Not just Totti. Totti's different because of how long he played at Roma. But there was also 2 others that we have not discussed. Philipp Lahm, who you have always told me is if you want to be a defender in your game, in your sport, you just watch tape of Philipp Lahm. Nobody does it fundamentally better, especially on both stages of, again, the World Cup for Germany and recently of Bayern. And then also Xabi
Alonso.
Sorry, I'm not doing it right. Regardless, who got quite a send-off from the Bernabeu, obviously because he played so many years for Real Madrid. But is it the end of an era? Are we moving on from, these are even players that before, because I watched a lot of World Cup, so players like Totti and Alonso I've known, obviously not to the extent I do now.
Yeah.
But we've hit this sending off of what, if there is a Hall of Fame level players.
It's sad. It's sad to see.
Is this your childhood that's leaving you?
These are players that I grew up idolizing. I always would want to go, for some reason, Roma in Pro Evolution Soccer when it first came around. That was when it was far better than FIFA because Totti could bang them in from anywhere, man.
He was the best player in the game.
But to be fair, we've said this about previous generations as well. We said, oh my God, we're seeing the likes of Maldini go away. We're seeing the likes of Puyol leaving, Xavi of Barcelona, who is still playing. Yeah, I think that there's going to be iconic players that are going to all kind of move on around the same time because they did share the limelight for several years. Even Gerrard, though he's still trying to play at the Galaxy or whatever else, like technically moving away from the limelight in terms of Europeans' top leagues. And it's sad to see 3 phenomenally gifted players, 4 if you're including John Terry leaving Chelsea, who have been ambassadors to not only the sport but to every team they play for. Lahm, another loyal player who easily has been one of the smartest footballers I think you'll ever come across. Guardiola himself said that no one is smarter. Guardiola, who's coached Messi and Iniesta, I mean some of the best players, said Philipp Lahm was the most intelligent footballer he's ever worked with. Because Philipp Lahm, when you look at him aesthetically, he doesn't look anything special. Like he's not huge, he's not overly athletic, he's not overly fast, he's just an all-round fantastic footballer.
Smart player.
He would outsmart you. He would be in the position that you'd already think you're going to be in 5-6 steps from there. And that's what made him very good. And he made his impact on both the national scene and in the club. I mean, he's won everything that you can imagine winning.
Right.
Champions League trophies and World Cup. So I think that that's a phenomenal career. And Xabi Alonso is another one that you see worldwide how much impact. Gerrard's coming out stating how much of an impact Rafa Benitez, like he was part of Liverpool's unbelievable Champions League winning team.
He's played a lot of successful clubs.
Yes,
when
and
he was there.
It's not a coincidence.
No, so he brought success to a lot of these clubs.
Great. He played very well at Real Madrid as well, had a great tenure there, and of course at Bayern Munich when many people thought
he was done.
Come to an end. Goes to Bayern Munich for, I believe, around 40 million less than what Balotelli was moving for at that point.
Hey,
or around that.
Wait till his send-off in like 15 years.
Yeah, we'll see Balotelli. I think he moved over for like 11 million at that point, and people were like, oh yeah, that was a thing, like cleverly valued at like 20 million, and Xabi Alonso's moving for 11 million.
FIFA's best ever player.
So yeah, it's a sad end to some of these players' careers. I don't think you'll see a better send-off than that of Totti. Like there's actually a video circulating.
I like the Stevie Gerrard send-off because they sing "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Yeah, that's a great song.
No, everyone was crying. You watch it, I'm crying.
It literally, like, there's a video that says no one in the stadium is not crying. There's women crying, there's kids crying, there's like old, elderly people. Yeah, but if they're still able to generate tears crying.
Totti has 3 kids, like they're all going to be unbelievable.
Yes, I imagine they will be.
They're all going to play for Roma.
No pressure on his son. I believe he's the only son and around 2 girls as well. So no pressure on him, kid.
No pressure.
See how it happens. But yeah,
Women's World Cup, no pressure.
And he's handing the torch over to a team that's in good stead. They've got some talented players, and I think that, from what I imagine, De Rossi is the next player in terms of their loyalty to this club. He's been there for years as well. He's had plenty of offers to move elsewhere. I don't think he's been at the club as long. Of course not. He's not been at the club as long, but he's another veteran, loyal player that's pledged his allegiance to Roma. Maybe it's just Roma. Maybe they just provide such great hospitality that people are like, you know what? Why go elsewhere? I'm being fed grapes like Caesar.
Is that really what?
That's what they do. They feed grapes, and they fan you. That's why he doesn't want to leave.
I just love that in medieval Roman times. Actually, this is in English Parliament history. Kings, like a sign of you being wealthy, if you were fat.
Yes.
It meant you ate. A lot, and you were able to afford eating all of those grapes and stuff like that. So, and there's a show called Taboo, which is on FX with Tom Hardy, written by Tom Hardy and his dad, Chips Hardy, wrote the show. And they have it might be King Henry, and my God, is he big. And there's always food, and he's always eating, and it's probably pretty true. It's just hilarious to the point that, you know, I want to be a king. You know, just sit there and friggin' eat all day, make decisions. Don't show me on maps. Just
well, don't go anywhere near Rome, because I think that throne has definitely been taken, and it will be for quite some time. I don't imagine anyone else will be able to take it away from Francesco Totti. So sad to see such a legend. Francesco.
I know, but you ever see the Elf? Where
have I seen that? I have seen the movie, but how do I remember the quote?
The quote is where he's sitting and he's like, Francisco. I like that name.
Yes.
It's fun to say. And he's sitting in the corner.
I always figured my name would be cool if you added just a CO in the end of it, but I could not.
That's why I call you Franco.
Pull it off.
Franco.
Ciao.
Ciao.